Everybody. Debbie's going to be here. If you guys need my attention, please let Debbie know. And hey, Dee Dee. All right. Sharon Brubaker here, grief specialist and owner of the Grief School. Live tonight, 8 o'clock. Okay. I want to talk real quick about some housekeeping stuff. I have been going really long on the lives in here. So this is kind of what I'm planning. I'm not going to go as long. And then I'm going to give you guys a chance to ask me questions. So things that you want answered to, anything that you want to know about grief, anything you want to know about a broken heart, anything about the subject, anything about that you want to share. So I've been going long on the lessons, but I'm not going to go as long on the lessons. Okay. Second thing, I'm going to try something. Brittany thinks I'm crazy, but I'm going to try it anyway. I want to meet you guys in the group that we're designing. We have created the Facebook group for the Grief School. And in there is where I want to be able to answer questions, meet with you guys. It's a private group of women who are grieving. So what I did was if it's not done already, it will be done. I turned off the comments in here. If you guys want to talk to me, if you want to ask me questions, you got to join the Facebook group. On Thursday, let me see, because I got to go look at the schedule that she posted so I can speak specifically to that schedule. On Thursday, which is October 2nd at 1 p.m., I'm going to do a live in the Facebook group only. Here's the thing about that live. That live is where I'll do the extended teaching. It will stay in the Facebook group for eternity. You guys can watch it at any time, so you don't have to be there. I'm going to do that live. I think on that live, I've been promising a couple of ladies I would do a live on survivor's guilt. And so Thursday is going to be on survivor's guilt. I'm going to talk about guilt, regret, being the survivor, feeling those emotions, what to do with those emotions. Those are going to be a couple of things. So if you haven't done that yet, you want to join the Facebook group, the Grief School, because there I'm going to do an extended period. Thank you, Miss Becky, of live and teaching in there. Okay, so tonight, 8 o'clock, tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Here's the deal, my friends. Here's the deal. I know a lot of you cannot make the live at 5 o'clock. I'm still going to do the TikTok live. It will be live in the Facebook group. The live will sit in the Facebook group. So if you don't catch me here at 5 o'clock, you will be able to catch me in the Facebook group. I'm specifically doing that for a reason. I want to hang out with my husband a little bit at night. And I know that this is great to be here at 8 o'clock at night, but I want to hang out with him. And so then Wednesday at 8 p.m., I will also be here. Thursday, we're going to be in the Facebook group only. There is a 1 p.m. grief study hall on Tuesday. Is that in here? She just had the lives. She doesn't have the study hall. I just realized that. And then Saturday at 7 a.m. So she is going to do the grief study halls. Hey, EK, the grief study hall is going to be Tuesday at 1 p.m. right here on Zoom. All right, friends, that grief shit. This is the last 2 weeks. You'll be able to get this for free as a community outreach. So if you haven't done it, I'm asking you to go ahead and download it. It's the last 2 weeks. The cover is going to change. I'm adding more stuff to it. I'm just fixing some mistakes in here. And but it'll be the last 2 weeks that you'll be able to get it for free. That grief shit. The thing about that grief shit is that, and I was thinking about it today. I went on a walk today and I was making some videos. Why did I put out that grief shit before this is grief? Because that grief shit is most of the stuff that starts to bother us first. It feels like you're watching yourself from the outside in. That's what it feels like. It feels like your appetite is gone. It feels like you're tired. It feels like you got this bone deep tired. You're crying 1 minute and you're numb the next, right? Your body hurts. The world doesn't see these things, these parts of grief. So I put this out first because this is a lot of what we're going through and what we're experiencing. So that's why this is out first. Then I break down the true definition of grief. The true definition of grief is the grief that I feel I wish I had when Austin died. So yes, that's going to be, this is grief. Do we have to sign up for tomorrow? Not if you've already signed up, and the link will be in the Facebook group. Not if you've already signed up, and the link will be in this Facebook group. Walter lost a 17-year-old friend tonight. Anyone who will, please send comfort. Walter is Monette's grandson. Everybody, can we please send? Can you just type his name, Miss Monette? Can you just type Walter's name? Just type Walter's name. Everybody, can we please send love and energy to Walter? Just tap for Walter. My heart to yours, Miss Monette, and to Walter's and to the family. Everybody, can we just tap the screen for Walter? Sending you love and energy. Sending you love and energy, Walter. Man. My heart to yours, love. And having to navigate that with him. Truly, my heart to yours. All right, everybody. Today, Suzanne and I, this class today is dedicated to Suzanne, and I'll tell you why. Suzanne and I often get together and we just talk through grief. And she's a brainiac from way back. And she was breaking down emotions today like none other. And I'm like, this is no joke. She was like, and then I thought this, and then I thought that, and then I added this and this together, and then I started to think about this. And I was like this. I was the proudest teacher, you guys. I was the proudest teacher, but I love Miss Suzanne, and she and I talk about grief all the time. But something came up. Something came up when she and I were talking about grief. So the thing that came up was the difference between missing someone, longing for them, and loneliness. And so we started, she actually asked a question, which I don't know. She said, I'm longing. I said, missing. And she said, what's the difference? Girl, we both grabbed this. Brene Brown's Atlas of Emotions. And I just started looking through here. We looked at loneliness. We looked at missing. We looked it up on Google. We did all kinds of things. And when it finally came out, I was like, oh my gosh, Suzanne, this is amazing. I'm going to teach it tonight. And here's the deal. The parts that Suzanne put together, I love the Atlas of the Heart. I said Atlas of Emotions because I'm always looking up emotions in here. I'm going to have Suzanne, we're going to do a special training, and Suzanne's going to teach on that, because the connection that she made. Friends, one of the things that I teach about grief is emotions, but I also teach emotional childhood. Emotional childhood is when we haven't matured from childhood in our emotions. Right now, I made red beans and rice for dinner. Tony's absolute favorite. Not my favorite, but I will make it. Not my favorite, but I will absolutely make it. And I probably eat a bowl of red beans maybe twice a year, but I make them much more than that. Okay. Tap. Debbie said tap. And thank you, Miss Debbie. And Matt gave the twins red beans, but they were promised ice cream, right? So they were promised ice cream, but he gave them red beans. They're 3 years old. What do you do when kids are given a rustic meal, right? They're given a rustic meal, but they know that this ice cream is coming. So she starts crying. The little boy's trying to eat his, and the little girl's like, no, I'm not eating this. Forget it. This is not happening for me. And she starts crying. Then she starts running around. She does not want to eat it. She is upset. She's frustrated, but she doesn't have the vocabulary to say, Dad, I don't want to eat this. I can't eat this. I don't like this. Dad, can I please have something else? She doesn't have the vocabulary or the wherewithal to do that. It is a total rustic meal. Anyway, and I make really good red beans. I'm not kidding. I make really good red beans. But, you make a pot of red beans and you have a bowl and you're like, good. But, when you make a big old vat, I freeze them. I freeze the vat. And then this is what he ate tonight, was frozen. He asked for it, so I got it out. It was easy for me, I guess. She doesn't have the wherewithal to say, this hurts. This is hurting my feelings. I really don't like this. She's 3 years old. Over time, we hope that her emotions will evolve. We hope that all of our emotions will evolve. That's what we hope for all of us. But that's not always what happens. A lot of times we get stuck in our emotions. We get stuck at a very young age. We don't know how to say what is wrong. We don't know how to say what we're not happy with. We don't know how to call out the emotion. Sadness, broken. Suzanne and I talked about this today. How many times do I say, where are you at? And they just say sadness. Please share the live stream. Please share. Oh, yeah. Debbie said, share the live stream, everybody. How many times do you guys just say sadness? The other day I was working with a beautiful sister. She's in here. I'm not going to call her out. And she said whatever her emotion was. And I said, what's under that? So she said her first emotion. She said her second emotion. And then I asked her again, and what's under that? And she said, fear. And a lot of times we don't even know that there's other emotions under there because we're not used to looking at all the emotions. So sometimes as a griever, we need to look at all of them. Tina, I see you. I'll be back, sweetie. We need to look at all the emotions. This is kind of where one of the classes that I teach is looking at all of the emotions in our heart. So I want to say this. I also want to say this. When we know a few emotions, we got them down, we got them pat, we know what our heart's going through, like Miss EK said, we know what our heart is feeling, we have our atlas, we're going through all the emotions, and we're doing really good. We got this thing figured out. We got this emotion thing figured out. And the next thing that happens is we have a grieving experience. And we go from the atlas of the heart of getting the emotions figured out to all negative emotions. A ton of negative emotions. Wait, whoa, what do you mean I only got negative emotions? What do you mean? How does that happen? How is it that I only get to negative emotions? And that's sometimes why this is so overwhelming, because it's negative, 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 negative. And we weren't used to processing those. Now, hear me out. 99.9%, including me, of us stay in emotional childhood because we don't know how to process emotions. We don't know how to call out our emotions. We don't know how to name them, right? So that's number one. Then you had a grieving experience on top of it. Then what happens? It's really hard to navigate the negative emotions that are hitting you just like this when no one has told you, hey, girl, you just got to let them. I just had a moment. Grief is the first thing my intellect can't get me through. Girl, need that on a t-shirt, Miss Becky. My name is Sharon Brubaker, and I'm the owner of the Grief School. I teach women how to move beyond the pain of grief. Tina says, sometimes I'm okay, but other days I'm not. Everybody, let's give Tina some love. Grief is negative, and it's very shitty. You're right, Miss Monette. But the other thing I think that sometimes we don't understand is that we might enjoy the cup of ice cream. We might sit on the porch and watch the sunset, even in our grieving, even in the middle of the grieving process. We might have something that feels kind of okay to us. That's the other thing that's crazy. Okay, everybody, that grief shit. Last 2 weeks that it's going to be free. Okay. So tonight I'm sitting with Suzanne. We're working over emotions, and we get to missing, longing, and loneliness. What's the difference? Because if we're always saying I'm lonely, are we absolutely knowing what that is? So I'm going to break that down. Grief will rip 3 words straight out of your chest and throw them on the floor. You start missing your person, you start longing for your person, and you're feeling really lonely for your person. People around you treat you like they're all the same thing. People around you treat you like they're all the same thing because you're treating yourself like it's the same thing. Missing, longing, loneliness are 3 different layers of the same heartbreak. Thank you, Suzanne, for bringing this up. Thank you. Each one hurts in its own way, and each one needs its own kind of attention. Each one hurts in its own way, and each one needs its own kind of attention. Today, I'm going to walk you through these 3 truths, and we're going to see them for ourselves. We're going to look at them after Suzanne and I did the much study on them. you're going to realize that you're not crazy, that these actually feel different. They actually feel different. You're going to leave with a few tools to stop fighting you from processing them. So let's talk about missing. Let's talk about missing. Missing is the first wave. It shows up fast. It doesn't wait for an invitation. So grief comes in, missing comes in. It's all the stuff around the house that you see. It's their hat, their lunch pail, their work boots. It's all of their stuff that's still left around the house. It's the empty chair at the dining room. It's your hand reaching for the phone to call them. It's you reaching for the phone to call them. That sounded important. Reaching for the phone to call them. You're going to text them something funny, but you can't remember what it is. It's standing in the pantry and seeing all the food that you have just picked out for them. All the food you have just picked out for them. Missing is the recognition that they're gone. Your mind says, this isn't right. Your mind is going to tell you this isn't right. Sort of like PK. And your mind does the grief first. Your mind is going to do the grief first. Your mind is you're going to have thoughts first, right? So you're going to have thoughts about the grief first before you actually feel the grief. But like EK said, this is one of the areas that I haven't been able to get out of. This is not replacing the carpet, right? So your mind says, this isn't right. This is your thought. This isn't right. So your brain is having this thought. You're seeing all this stuff around the house, and your brain is going, this is not right. This is not right. And I guarantee you this, every time you look at the boots, every time you see the hat, every time you see the lunch pail, you fall apart, right? The keys. How about the car? Every time you see their car, every time you see their car, their clothes, right? The smell of their cologne. Every time you see any of that, you start to fall apart. Missing is the recognition that they're gone. Your mind says this isn't right. And then it says, this isn't right. Something is off. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Look, your mind sees all these things. Your heart, every time you see one of these things, your heart feels the pain. Look, please tilt the board. Is that right? Is that right? Is that right? That would make me dizzy. Please tilt the board. Okay, making sure everybody can see it. Thank you. Okay, your thought is, this isn't right. You're walking around the house and you're seeing all these things. Every time your eyes lay on one of these, I promise you, you feel pain in your heart. But the thought is, this isn't right. This isn't right. You feel the pain, and then you miss them. It's a lot more than missing them, but that's the first time that the missing them shows up. Here's the thing about missing them. It's sharp. It cuts quick. But sometimes it passes fast too. Sometimes it passes fast. 1 second you're fine. The next second, the air gets knocked out of you. Or you saw their handwriting on a note. That's missing. That's awareness that's wrapped in pain. It's the awareness. Did you hear what I say? It's the awareness of the missing. All of this brings in the awareness. You have all the evidence that they are no longer there. Of course, also your mind is fogged out and numb. So here we go. What are the small everyday things that trigger your sense of missing them. What are the small things? Everybody name one thing. Name one thing that that the trigger or sense. Miss Becky says missing is a thought or an emotion. It's both. It's both. Okay. If you add I am missing her, that's your thought. Your thought creates a feeling. And your feeling is sad. Your thought creates a feeling or emotion, and it's sad. J. Hell says it's a memory. Missing can be attached to a memory, but then that would be an emotion. Then that would be an emotion. Let me show you this. Let me also show you this. I'm missing her, and I feel sad, right? But if your thought is I can't do this, I'm going to write it right here. Here's thought number 1. Here's thought number 2. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this without her. I can't do this without her. If that's your thought, I can't do this without her, the feeling might be missing her, which is actually missing, right? So it can be both. A lot of times, no communication. What does that mean, Suzanne? Were you talking to somebody else? A lot of times what happens is, this is what happens, is that, forgot what I was going to say. A lot of times we want to take the person, the missing, the longing. We want to put it all together. You asked the question, oh, you missed the communication. I'm sorry. Jay Hal says it's the, Sarah says it's the pictures. I still have the toothbrush. The conversations. Suzanne said the communication. It's the conversations, those long conversations, and the advice that I would get. When the wave of missing crashes you, what do you usually do with it? When the wave of missing crashes, what do you do with it? So it can be something like this. Sarah says the picture. So you have thought, and then the pain is missing her. Missing, longing, wanting them there. Miss Dee Dee says she cries. Monette says she does the music. EK says I fight it. That's huge. That's huge, EK, because all I need you to do for 1 minute is just sit in the missing. Just sit in the missing for 1 minute and allow this missing to blow off. Just 1 minute. And you got to acknowledge that it's there, and you got to go there. You got to go there. One of the things that I talk about in here is that in that grief shit is just the missing them in the world, not understanding. Just the missing them in the world, not really coming to your guide and helping you to understand that grief shit. Click my picture. You guys, this is free. It's a community outreach right now, 2 more weeks, and then it's going to be gone. Click the link in my bio, click my picture, and then click on the link that says click here for hope. If you're in the Facebook group, just click on the link that says click here for hope, which is in the description. I can sit with it now, but I couldn't for months. Good. Perfect. Dee Dee says I printed it. Anyone else frozen? I'm not frozen. Am I frozen? Is it just you? The screen is moving. No. Debbie says no. Everyone tells you you're going to be okay. Everyone tells you you're going to be okay. Everyone tells you time heals. But the truth is, you have to learn to sit with the pain. You have to learn to sit with the pain. We have to acknowledge that there's pain. We have to acknowledge that there's pain, and we have to learn to sit with the pain. Becky, I saw your comment earlier about Lexi, and I'm going to come back to that. Okay, longing. Let's talk about longing. Missing is where you notice, okay? I'm going to keep that page. Missing is where we notice. Missing equals notice. Missing equals notice. We notice what's gone. Longing is the ache. Man, Suzanne, this was so good. She gave me all this. Time heals the biggest lie, and it's one of the biggest lies that I talk about in here, Miss Tina. That grief shit. It's the shit that everybody does. It's the shit that everybody tries to put on us. Click my picture. While you're there, follow me, and then download that if you haven't done it yet. Longing is when you don't just realize they're gone, but you want them back. Oh my gosh. You don't see the empty chair. You dream about them sitting in it. You don't just remember their favorite cereal. You wish you could hear them complaining that you got the wrong kind. You want them to complain that they bought the wrong kind. Longing is missing plus desire. Oh my gosh. Longing is missing plus desire. What did I say that? Longing equals missing plus desire. It's that part of grief that you have to reach. Your chest pulls forward. Your heart says, if you could just have one more minute, just one more minute, just one more minute. Guys, what would you say if you could just have one more minute? What could you say if you could have one more minute? What would you say? In my gut, when I close my eyes and I just think about it, I can only get 1 minute, right? What would I say if I had one more minute? And my gut, first thing I wanted to say was, I need you, but I don't want to do that to her. Sharon was my best friend. I don't want to say I need you. I would say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for making me me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being my friend. I had a dream about Sharon. It was a very vivid dream. I share it quite often in here, but in that dream, it was such a vivid dream. In that dream, I was begging her, why did she leave me? And I was crying and crying and crying. And I think from that dream, I wouldn't want to do that to her. If I had just one more minute, what would I say? I would say, I love you with all of my heart, and you have forever changed me for the better. Wow, I love it. I love it. I love you. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I would say thank you. Your chest pulls forward. Your heart says, if I could have just one more minute. Longing lives in the land of just one more. Just one more hug. One more kiss. One more hug. One more kiss. One more laugh. One more date. One more kiss. One more laugh. One more date. One more car ride. One more phone call. Missing means you notice. Longing is the aches. Longings equals missing plus desire. Desire is the one more minute. See how this connects? Just one more minute. The hug, the kiss, the car ride, the laugh, the date. Just one more. If I could just have one more. Here's what's so cruel about the longing. It has no bottom. It's bottomless, right? It goes on and on and on. Look at this. I could keep going. One more song with you. One more kitchen dance. One more song, one more kitchen dance, one more trip, one more cruise. It goes on and on. There's no end to the longing. One more, I love you, Mom. All of it, just one more. It wouldn't bring him back if he had to suffer again. Dudas' sister said, I wouldn't bring him back if he had to suffer again. I should have been there. I'm so sorry. Here's the cruel part about the longing. It has no bottom. You give yourself permission to feel it, but it never feels fully satisfied. Because the one thing about the longing is because the thing you long for cannot be given. Let me read that again because I jacked it up. Here's the cruel thing about longing has no bottom. It goes on forever. You give yourself permission to feel it, and you do, but it never is fully satisfied because the thing you're longing for, the thing that you are longing for can't be given. It cannot be given. And that's why longing feels like fire. It burns without ever going out. Longing feels like fire. It burns. That is a great description. That burning that you feel just under your stomach, just under your heart, but in your stomach, that burning is probably your longing. And that's why longing feels like fire. It burns without going out. But longing isn't your enemy. It's proof of love. It's proof of your bond. It's proof that your bond was real and that they still matter. Longing to me feels like a very heavy weight. One of them has to feel hollow, right? Do you guys agree? One of them has to feel hollow, either missing. Does missing feel hollow or longing feel hollow? Which one of these do you long for the most? I'm going to give you a choice of 3. I'll write it out. Do you longing? What did I say? Touch? Presence? Touch, presence, or laughter? It's laughter for me. Which one do you miss the most? Their touch? Number 1. Number 2, their presence or their laughter? What things do you long the most for? And if it's something other than this, share it with us. Debbie says her presence. Yes. AK says all of them. J. Hale says their presence. I miss her laughter. I think the presence and the laughter go together. I don't know. Is that right? Presence. Longing is heavy. And it's worse when you think you're carrying it all alone. And that is exactly why we host Grief Study Hall. And everybody's saying presence. Wow. A lot of presence. I miss their presence. Grief Study Hall is every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is not recorded. Does longing equate to sorrow? Couldn't sorrow be just under longing? Couldn't longing bring sorrow? Longing is pain. Sorrow is painful. Girl, we're already on these 3. Now you're adding another one in? Look at you. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to look it up. Okay. Grief Study Hall is every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Grief Study Hall is where I teach a lesson and we take a deep dive in grief. I love Grief Study Hall because grievers bring They bring their shit to Grief Study Hall and they ask questions. To join up for Grief Study Hall, it is a community outreach. It is a support group. It is an amazing place for us as women to join together. Click the link in the bio. So you click my picture, and sign up for Grief Study Hall. If you're in the Facebook group or YouTube or Instagram, click the link that says click here for hope and you sign up there. His laugh and his smile could heal most broken part of my heart. I'm going to get to you, Miss Suzanne. Sarah said, today I cried on my walk after a tall young man with a similar presence to my son ran past me. My heart to yours, Miss Sarah. Everybody, can we tap the screen for Miss Sarah and give her some love? Tita says, sometimes I feel like he touches me. Is that crazy? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I feel like sometimes I hear them call my name. I feel like I've have heard him call my name. I also feel like I've seen him in a crowd. And that was Donovan. And I don't know, you guys, sometimes I feel like I sense him on the side of me and it makes me look. And that happens. It happens for a while, like a couple days in a row before it goes away. Anyone can come to Grief Study Hall. It is for women who are grieving and we break down grief. Miss Sarah said, thank you all. Okay. Loneliness is the echo that follows. Loneliness is the echo that follows. Geez, they are going at it today. Okay. Loneliness is the echo that follows. Missing is sharp. It said missing is sharp and sometimes it moves fast. Right? Missing is sharp. Longing is fire. Longing is fire. Okay? Loneliness is the echo that follows. Missing is sharp. Longing is fire. Loneliness is hollow. I follow. I found it. There you go, Miss Suzanne. I found it. Loneliness is hollow. You can be surrounded by people and still feel lonely. Because loneliness and grief is not about company. It's not about the person in the room. It's about them. It's about your person. It's about your person. Loneliness is an empty space in your life where only your person could fit in. They were the only ones that fit in. It's walking into a crowded room and still feeling unseen. It's hearing laughter all around you, but not hearing theirs. It's waking up next to someone else and still missing the way that person breathed beside you. Not waking up to them, right? Loneliness is a reminder that no one else can take their place. Loneliness is the reminder that no one else can take their place. And here's the hardest part. People will try. They will try that shit. They will try to replace your person. That's why I wrote this. That grief shit is all about the shit. They will try to tell you jokes. They want you to move on past this grief as quickly as possible. Why? They need to know that you're okay so they can be okay. That grief shit, that's what it is. They will tell you, but you still have other kids. Why are you so sad? But you still have us. And you want to scream, but it's not the same. It's not the same. You want to scream it at the top of your lungs. You know why? Because it's not. It's not the same. Loneliness is not solved by being around people. It's not solved by getting a new girlfriend. It's not solved by getting a new husband. And for most of us, we cannot get a new child. And even if we did, and we do, they will not be Austin. Okay? Loneliness is solved by learning how to sit in the empty space without letting it swallow you whole. Loneliness is solved by learning to sit in the empty space without letting it swallow you whole. Loneliness is the reminder that no one else can take their place. Exactly. And there was this thing that I did when Sharon died. Sharon was my best friend. Sharon and I were best friends for 15 years. We did everything together. We were together almost every single day. Loneliness was this thing that after she died, I had this thought in my head, who's going to be my friend now? And now I want to tell you this. I go back to the first breakup of my boyfriend, my first boyfriend from school. And that was a thought that I had back then. Who's going to be my boyfriend now? I was looking for the replacement. So my looking for the replacement is something that I think I've done for a while. Who will be my boyfriend now? Who will be my best friend now? Isn't that interesting? Question. When does loneliness hit the hardest for you? Is it in the morning? Is it at night? Is it on weekends? Is it holidays? Is it a certain day of the week? Is it after a certain phone call? Is it when you're around certain people? When do you feel loneliness the most? When do you feel loneliness the most? Amanda says in the evening. She feels for me, it was always the morning. It was always the morning for Austin. I always felt the worst. Oh yeah, that happened. I feel like Sharon, it was just heavy a lot. And partly because we had a lot of the same friends. And so a lot of the same friends were around at night. Saturdays are the worst. Nights and weekends, said Miss Sarah. When you spend a lot of time together, mornings and weekends, said Dee Dee. When you spend a lot of time together, when you're used to being with that person on a certain day, middle of the day, also birthdays and holidays. Yes. First thing in the morning, last thing before sleep. And Thursdays and Sundays are the worst. Thursdays and Sundays. Yeah, VK. I feel like Josh is 24/7. It is 24/7, but there's other stuff going on. Especially after 2 years, my love. There's other emotions in there. And it feels 24/7 when you go back there. The other thing is this, I'm talking about allowing your heart to go back there. The other thing is we get so good at ignoring the pain. We start to ignore it that sometimes when we go back, it feels even bigger. Just throwing that out for you. Amber says still all the time. Just throwing that out for you guys, that it might be a big, huge feeling of the grief, but there are moments when you come away from it, and when you come back to it, it seems even bigger. Another thing that Suzanne brought up today, and she said which was a great observation, why the second year can be harder than the first is because you don't have the protection of the numbness anymore. That numbness that you had, that brain fog that you had in the beginning, that's no longer there. That's no longer there. For me, I always describe it as the reality that they're not coming back is real, and that makes it even heavier. Aida says all the time. Linda says, so true. Loneliness will try to convince you that you're stuck here forever. That's the other thing. Loneliness is mean. It's mean. It tries to convince you that you're stuck here forever, but you're not. You're not stuck here forever. That's another reason why we talk about how to process the pain, how to process the pain of grief, how to get the grief moving. So, a couple of things. We have that grief shit, which is a free ebook that you can download, right? I'm turning it into a workbook, and so it will no longer be a free. In about 2 weeks, it will no longer be free. So you guys want to download it while you can. Also, Grief Study Hall every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Click the link in the bio, sign up for Grief Study Hall. Go to click here for hope, sign up for Grief Study Hall. Thank you, Miss Dee Dee. Thank you for the gifts. She said, yes, the second year was harder than the first. In Grief Study Hall, we teach you how to deal with certain aspects of missing, the longing, and the loneliness. Hey, Tina. Duda's sister said, I live 2 minutes from where I found him. Do you still drive down that street? Do you still drive down that street? Or do you avoid it? I just started year 3. I thought it was year 2. I'm sorry, Duda's sister. Okay, here's the truth. You miss them because they're gone. You miss them because they're gone. You long because you want them back. You long because you want them back. You feel lonely because no one else can fill their place. I got to write that. I got to write that one. You miss them because you want them back. Isn't that true? You want them back. And you see all the stuff. You see all their stuff. You long because, well, oh, I mixed that up. All right, don't pay attention to that. You miss them. I messed up 2 together. You miss them because they're gone. Because they're gone. And I think I still miss 2 of them together. You miss them because they're gone. All right. And you long because you want them back. You want them to come back. You want their hugs, their loves. You want them back. Look, you miss them because they're gone. You long because you want them back. You want them back. And you feel lonely because no one else. I'm just going to say no one else. Dot, dot, dot. No one else can fill that place. I don't know. I think lonely is the hardest. These 3 pieces are not signs you are broken. These 3 pieces are not signs that you are broken. They are signs that you are grieving. They are signs that you are grieving. The mistakes that most people make is they think they have to fix these. They think they have to fix these emotions. They think they have to push these emotions aside. They try to drown out missing in distractions. They try to numb out longing with busyness. They try to cover loneliness by going into more crowds to see if we can get by. And then they wonder why the pain is roaring back. On Thursday, I'm going to teach a live in the grief school. In the grief school. So it's going to be a live in Facebook. It's going to be only in Facebook. And that schedule's right. Tina says, I'm not broken no more because of you. Tina's so cute, you guys. I met Tina in here on Facebook, and I was like, I'm on TikTok, and I was like, hey, girl, you need to come over here and let me help you. And she did, and she did everything I asked her. Look at her. And here's the good news. When you give yourself space to feel the missing, you give yourself enough room for the longing and the loneliness, the grief starts to shift. It starts to shift a little bit at a time. Missing turns into remembering. Longing turns into honoring. Missing turns into remembering. Longing turns into honoring. I'm just going to put it here. Missing turns into remembering. Missing turns into remembering. Longing turns into honoring. This is Dee Dee. She says she honors her. Longing turns into honoring. And loneliness turns into connection. It turns into connection with yourself. It turns into connection with your memories and sometimes with others who actually get it. This is not quick work. It's daily work. Miss Tina said that's true. She did everything I asked her. All I said, you need to do this. And then she did it. You need to do this. And then she did it. And every time she came back with her work all done. But it is so worth it. And if I'm telling you guys, if you would meet this young lady right here, she's just absolutely amazing. All right, I'm going to ask some questions. That's the end of the class. I think that was really good, Suzanne. I think that was really good. Jay Hall says, I'm such a mess and emotional. I don't know where to start. Start in Grief Study Hall. Come see us in Grief Study Hall if you can. If you can't join Grief Study Hall, come back to the lives. The live, I will be in live. Join the Facebook group. Tina says you find yourself when you do the work. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for this, Suzanne. Yeah, Suzanne did a really good job of putting this together. I will for sure. So come to Grief Study Hall. It's a place for us to talk and break down grief. That's number one. Number two, join the Facebook group. On Thursday in the Facebook group, the Grief School, I'm going to do my live exclusively in there. Why? I want to tell you guys something. I want to build the Facebook group the way I always designed it to be, but I've been so busy doing other stuff, I hadn't really done it. So I'm going to throw some attention at the Facebook group. I want the Facebook group to be a private group where we can come together and we can say things safely. We can say things safely. We can share our person. We can talk about our person. We can do emotional check-ins. We can be in there. I can teach out of there. You guys will be videos. So here's the deal. I have been posting my lives in the Facebook group, but I'm no longer going to do that. The only lives you're going to get in the Facebook group are the ones I exclusively do in the Facebook group. The ones that I exclusively do in the Facebook group, you will not find them anywhere else but in the Facebook group. The majority of my teachings, I'm going to start putting in that Facebook group. Now, there's two Facebook groups. There's Grieve That Shit, which is the podcast, and then there's the Grief School. Will it be on Zoom? No, it's only going to be in the Facebook group. It'll be live. So you'll be able to see it. If you're a member of the Facebook group, it'll notify you there. On Thursday, I've been promising the ladies that I was going to do survivor's guilt. And so that's the first class that I'm going to teach on is survivor's guilt. All right, I have a question for you guys. And Becky and Tina, the other Tina 12, I'm going to come back to you guys. Which one, this is for everybody in the group. Which one feel the heaviest to you right now? Missing them because you're aware they're gone, longing because you want them back, or loneliness? Which one feels the strongest for you right now? Missing, longing, or loneliness? And I think we used to mix these all together. Longing, you want them back. Lonely is because no one else can feel it. Lonely is because no one else can feel it. Melanie says missing them. Aida says longing. Jay Hell says a loneliness. Suzanne says longing. Tina says, I still miss him after 3.5 years. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the part that doesn't really go away, wanting them back. That's sort of like the longing. It's a little mixture of all, I think. I want him back. Amber says longing. I've been told many times I have survivor's guilt. That's what we're going to teach about on Thursday. Jennifer says loneliness, even though I'm not alone. Jennifer, you could be in a room with 200 other people and still be the loneliest person in the room. Remember, it says loneliness is I'm trying to charge my phone, but I don't think I need to do that anymore. Loneliness is the connection that no one else can feel. It's wanting them back, but nobody else can feel that. That's what the loneliness is. Jerry says missing them. Hey, Jerry. Yeah. Amber says longing. My mom's been gone 14 years, and I broke down tonight crying because I wanted my mom. Hear you. Hear you, girl. Rachel says, I feel alone in my grief and sadness. Are you talking to anybody, Miss Rachel? Are you talking to anybody? Tina says, but I know how to get through it now because after your program, she's so cute. You guys have to see her. She's just the cutest thing. Pauline says, missing. Missing is very heavy. For all of you who want to stop circling the pain and actually go after the pain and really get to talking about the pain and really getting to move the pain, I want to introduce you to Grief Study Hall. It's tomorrow at 1:00. It is going to be on Zoom. You sign up for it, and that's where we come together and we really break down grief. What happened tonight was Suzanne and I sat, and she was sharing an emotional awareness that she had. She was sharing an emotional awareness and how she was putting it together. And through the middle of that emotional awareness, we started talking about the difference between longing, missing, and lonely. And that's where this class came from. Do you want to touch on the difference between lonely and being alone? Yes. So here's the deal that, here's the deal about lonely. You can feel lonely. You can feel lonely. You can feel lonely anywhere. You can feel lonely at the wedding reception. You can feel lonely at work. You can feel lonely at school with 380, thank you, Debbie, 380 other students there. But you can also feel lonely and be alone. You can be alone. Going back to the house and realizing he's not there. Going back to the house, going to work and then coming home and knowing he's not there. Being alone in your grief. And sometimes we do that to ourselves. We isolate ourselves. And there's a huge difference. Rachel says, thank you for being understanding. There's a huge difference between being alone and feeling lonely. And I think I read that out of here today. Hold, please. Man. Hold on. I'm on the wrong one. Loneliness. Hold on. I'm in belonging. And I'm having a hot flash. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to find it. You guys. There's a huge, she breaks down the difference between being lonely, actually feeling lonely in your heart, and being alone. And it was a great description that Suzanne and I read earlier. Thank you, Sharon, for being understanding. I tried to talk to my family about it, and my aunt tells me, you're still going on about that? I'm so sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that that's your experience. I'm sorry that she's saying that. And here's the deal. Like, a lot of people expect us to grieve like them. They expect us to show up like them. People are grieving differently. It takes the time that it takes. One of the things I told a sweet little girl in here today, don't let anybody tell you that how long it should take. Don't let anybody tell you you should do this. It's none of their business how you grieve. I'm sorry. Do you mind if I get on the Zoom tomorrow and I can tell them what I went through? No, I would love that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me that? And she's the mother of the person that I grieve for. I'm sorry, Miss Rachel. It's so hard. And they compare their grief to yours. I would love that, Miss Tina. Are you kidding me? I would absolutely love that. Hold on one second. I think I missed some questions. Chi girl 7. Where do I sign up for tomorrow? Go to the description of the grief study hall. Go to the description of the grief study hall and type in, hit the link at the bottom that says click here for hope. Hit the link at the bottom that says click here for hope. Hold on one second, Debbie. I don't see the, Miss Debbie says, please see Chi Girl 7139. Okay. You mean to tell me I'm going to long for him for several years? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is this. It takes as long as it takes, and it takes as long as it takes until you actually go after the grief and start to do some of your work. As I sit here before you, I am not longing for Austin. He's my 10-year-old nephew. I'm not longing for my dad. I'm no longer longing for them. Was I longing for them? Yes. You mean to tell me I'm going to long for him for several years? No, I never said that, sweetie. I'm never said that. With going after your work, with talking about your person, with doing some of the action steps that it takes in the grief, your grief starts to shift. As it shifts, it takes away some of those parts. Longing, missing, all of those get taken away. Diesel D says, it's only been 3 months and I still cry several times a day. I guess all 3. Yes, in the beginning, you're going to have all 3. Number 1. Number 2, you are going to cry several times a day in the beginning. Your heart is still trying to figure out how to process the emotions and move the emotions, right? It's still trying to figure that out. So it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. The tears are not necessarily a sign of grief. The tears are a sign of our love. The tears are a sign of our emotions. The tears are the release of the pressure. So the tears are not the grief. They're not necessarily the grief. So don't get stuck in that. It's only been, Jennifer says, what about functioning? I can't function. I know that's crazy. Why is that crazy? Why is that crazy, Jennifer? Jennifer, 1, stop pushing back on the fact that you can't function. Stop pushing back on the fact that you can't function. You need to slow it down. Listen, hear me. This is me. I get so many things done in a day, right? I'm up this morning. I'm up at 5 o'clock. I babysat the twins even while I was meeting. I got up at 5. I had a business meeting at 6. I stayed in my office till about 9:30. The parents came home at 7. They got them ready. They took them to school. At 9, I went on a walk. I came back. I did a load of laundry. I came back. I had to do some insurance work for my mom's for her Medicare. I had to get Medicare on the line today. Look, I'm functioning, right? I'm doing stuff. I'm just, that's my life, right? In grief, my life is, it doesn't function like that. It doesn't function the same. Nobody's does. If anybody tells you they were getting as much done as they always were, they're lying. Because the grief takes you out of the moment. Grief takes you out of the moment. You're over here like this with your pencil trying to put the lid on, right? You're trying to put the lid on so you can go do the next 10 things you have on your list. And all of a sudden you're like, he always put the lid on for me. I remember that he always put the lid on. Then your brain goes to that memory. Your brain goes to that memory and it takes you out of the moment. Grief takes you out of the moment. I didn't finish this. Being alone is a physical state. When we're alone, it is physical. That means there's no one else in the room. There's no one in the house. There's no one in the car. It's neutral. Some people even choose it because they like the quiet space, right? But for us grievers that always have someone next to us, that always have someone with us, our husband was always there. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be without him. I don't want to be doing everything by myself. Being lonely can also be an emotional state, right? Being lonely is an emotional state. You surround yourself with people who feel it, but they're not going to feel what you're feeling, right? Loneliness is about disconnection. Alone is an empty room. Lonely is an empty space in your heart. Okay? Hold on. Let me make sure I got all these. Hold on. I've been told so many times I have survivor's guilt. We said that. My mom's been gone for 14 years and I broke down crying today because I want my mom. Good for you for letting it in, Duda sister. I feel alone in my grief and sadness. Okay. Miss Rachel, thank you for sharing. I want you to sit in that. Don't try to push it away. Do not try to push it away. Rachel says, I see a therapist. Chai girl, no, you're not going to be like that for the rest of your life. What about functioning? I hope that helped, Jennifer. Melanie said, can it be all three? I'm 5 months in and missing my son. Yes, it can be all three. It's not stages, guys. Remember, it's not stages. It ebbs and flows. It changes. So you might be up here 1 minute and down here the next. It ebbs and flows. It changes all the time. And in the beginning, it's really, really makes you feel like you're really losing it. I tried to talk to my family about it. You said, I would think feeling lonely is a feeling. Being alone is more of a fact. Yes. Yes. That's what I just said. Sorry. But here's the other thing. Being alone is also, hear me out. If you live with your person and it's just the two of you, and you know you have to go back to that empty house, you definitely are going to feel lonely, but you also are not going to like being alone, right? You're not going to like it. And it can also be a thought. No, I would love it, Miss Tina. My husband and I grieve very differently from our child, for our child. Yes. Here's the other thing, Miss Becky. Don't judge his grief. This is going to be tough. And I'm going to say this, and you guys are not going to like it, but I'm going to say it anyway. The way he's grieving is none of your damn business. It's not. And the way anybody grieves is not any of your business. We have to allow people to grieve the way they're going to grieve. Here's the other thing that happens a lot is as couples, we tend to think we're going to see the mirror image of our grief in the other person. It's at our time. We happen to think that the other person, we're going to see the grief. I'll send you the link, Tina. Thank you, Debbie. You're so cute. Everyone is different. Yes. Thank you for explaining more in depth. And I think that, Chai Girl, that, you know what? You're very welcome. But I think also be open to whatever shows up. This is for everybody. Be open to whatever shows up for you. Whatever shows up in your grief, be open to it. This is how Suzanne has done her work, but this is also how she and I got on the question today. She's done her work. She is looking at the stuff. She's looking at it. Why is this happening to me? Why do I feel this? Tina says, I still have brain fog after 3.5 years. All the memories, all the flashbacks, all the time, all the memories, definitely. I'm so scared of feeling the pain of losing more people I love. I know this is crazy. Duda sister, it is not crazy. It's a fear that's a thought. I'm going to lose more people. I'm going to lose more people. So you have the thought and then you feel the fear. So one of the things is that you have to go after that thought of, I'm going to lose more people. And I'm sorry, you guys, I'm going to tell you this. I'm really sorry. You're going to lose more people. If you live long enough, we will have multiple grieving experiences throughout our life. Jennifer says, thank you so much. We will have multiple grieving experiences throughout our life. Being alone can be a thought. Yes, Suzanne, absolutely, it can be a thought. I agree about the grieving differently part. I guess you can also feel alone in the sense that you are on your own after the loss. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, exactly, EK. Look at it like this, right? You have a breakup of a romantic relationship. You now don't have that friend group because the friend group, they have to decide where they're going, right? So you're a husband and wife. You have 3 couples that are your friends. Some are going to go with him. Some are going to go with you. Some of them are going to split. And some of them are just going to go away. But all of a sudden, you're going to pick your head up and be like, I had all these friends. Where are they? Where are they now? Right? Same thing happens after a loss. Everybody comes in. You have a death. Everybody comes in. They got the potato salad and the ham. 3 weeks later, you pick your head up and you're like, where the hell is everybody? Where are they? Where are they at? I needed all these people. They're not here. Aida says it's been more than 10 years and still longing for my great grandmother. It will be her birthday in 2 weeks. My heart to yours, Aida. Truly, my heart to yours. Part of our discussion was around using the right words to describe our emotions. Yes. And that's what makes it hard is that, are we using the right word? I alluded to a little bit earlier, like, are you always saying, I feel sad? Is it really sad? Remember, I said I had a sister in here who shared, and she talked about her first 2 emotions, and under that was fear. And then Becky said, I asked Lexi, what's under that? Did she get it? That's what I wanted to ask you. She said she's been grieving since a young age. My heart to yours, friend. I mean, people, sorry. I lost people. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Hey, Linda Lou. So glad you're here. Thank you, Miss Debbie. Rachel said to Aida, birthdays and death anniversaries are when I feel the most depression and I drink. One of the things we want to be careful of is, Rachel, and let me just turn that around for you real quick and see if this helps. I'm totally fine with you drinking, but cry it out first. Miss them first. Do the grieving first. We do the grieving first, then we do the drinking or the eating or the isolating. It's a time check. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about here? What time it is? Time check. You guys with these little notes, I'm supposed to know. Time check. Is that commercial? My grandson's birthday is October 20th. Time check for you. Yeah, I got to go. I'm so sleepy. Suzanne, 7:17 p.m. Rachel's going to give you the time. 7:17. Oh, so you're in LA in Pacific time. Yeah, we're over here. My grandson's birthday is October 20th. I don't know if I can get through it. So Diesel D, you're on Pacific time. Diesel D, you're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. It's just a matter of you, of how you're going to get through it. So One of the things I want you to do for the birthday is I want you to have a plan. Have a plan for how you're going to celebrate his birthday. Now, hear me out. It's your daughter or son's child, so they may be the ones creating the plan. They may be the ones creating the plan. That doesn't mean that on October 20th you can't come up with your own plan. Hear me out. You could wear his favorite color. You can wear a gift that he gave you. You can wear a necklace that he gave you. You can do something that's just for you. You can do something that's just for you. Yes, Miss Suzanne, I'm going to be heading out in a minute. So you can, thank you, Suzanne. You can do something. You can get a cupcake and just do just a little cupcake just for you. And then you can go with your son and daughter and do something, whatever they want to do. Here's the deal about the plan. This is for everybody. When you create a plan for a special day, that plan is created so that you can, sorry, my mind just went away from me. So you know what you're going to be doing on the day. It does not take away the pain. It does not make the pain any less. The plan is created for you so you know what you're doing. I want your brain to be occupied with the plan, but your heart is still going to feel the pain. Here's what happens when we don't have the plan. We get to the day, we didn't realize it was coming, we don't remember it was coming, we feel even worse. We hold on as tight as we can on October 20th, October 21st, 22nd, 23rd, we fall apart. By all means, don't let that happen to you. It doesn't have to happen to you. You can make a plan and celebrate your grandson. Sar says, my mama's memorial is coming up, and I feel like it's going to be open up all of my wounds. It probably will, Sar. It probably will. But number one, allow it. Allow it to be there. It's your mother. It's her Memorial Day. It's an honoring. It's a day for you to honor her. I used to say celebrate, but Dee Dee in here, she says, no, we're honoring. And it's true. It's a day for you to honor her, honor your love, honor the thing that you do. I stayed in bed all day and slept on Josh's death anniversary. It's telling me I slept in bed all day. If that was your plan, I 100% support it. But don't let the day come upon you and that wasn't your plan and that end up being what you do. If that's what you do, I love it. If that was your plan, by all means. The next morning I did a brain dump before I did anything. I love it. If your plan is to stay in bed all day and cry it out, I support it 100%. Because guess what? That's a plan. And staying in bed all day is a plan. All right, my friends, I love you. Tomorrow I'm live at 5. Tomorrow I'm live at 5. It will be in the Facebook group. The live will be in the Facebook group and on YouTube if you guys don't make the 5 o'clock live. Tomorrow I'm live at 5. Wednesday I'm live at 8. And Thursday I'm live in the Facebook group only. In the Facebook group only. All right? And we're going to be talking about survivor's guilt. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, join the Facebook group, The Grief School. Click on the link right here on my Facebook page, on the picture, and click on the picture and join the group. It's the Facebook group is The Grief School. Join it there. Miss Debbie, thank you. Beautiful job. I love you guys all. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great night. Good night, everybody.